Well, isn't that a surprise? This worked like pretty quickly. So I'm starting a little early. So nobody's in the room yet, but if you're watching the video on replay, I'm starting a little early, but you wouldn't know that because you're on replay. Glad to see I got it in landscape mode, so it looks a little better. Okay, so we're starting this stream. Welcome to Saturday Night Hockey Talk Livestream on Talking Habs with Rick. And that's me. Hey, David, thanks for coming in. You're the first one in. Sports King, what's up, dog? Not much, you? I'm live streaming. That's what's up. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Let's see. You can see when you guys show up now, throw me off my... So I was just introducing the show. Saturday night hockey stream. We are on. I've got my new way of filming. So anybody, who hasn't been... I filmed already twice today live. I'm in my studio. Not in my living room. Because I'm filming off of my phone. So I'm using a new service that lets me film off my phone, even though I don't have 1,000 subscribers. Hey, Scotty! Almost that time of year again. Yeah, we're getting in. Let's get into that. So I just want to let you know, I'm filming off of my phone. I'm using an app called Prism Live Studio. No, I'm not promoting it or anything, but it's a great app. It allows me to film off of my phone without having 1,000 subscribers, because YouTube doesn't allow that, but this allows me to. So I see a smaller comment section, so I might miss some of your comments today because I'm getting used to this, but we're going to give it a try. Sports King, well, I did a very impromptu show earlier. I just went on to see, I wanted to retest it. I tested it twice because it's a new app and I was having trouble logging in, so I just wanted to make sure it was going to work for tonight, and it did. It worked really great tonight. So hey, MJ, Nolan, prison live stream, cool. Prison? Why does it say prison? I'm not in prison. I'm in my studio. MJ, I noticed you signed up for the hockey pool. Thanks for doing that, buddy. Anybody who has not signed up but gotten that entered the hockey pool contest, you're in. We didn't have to do a draw because there weren't enough people to fill all the spots anyway, so I put everybody in. I sent multiple emails, and they may be in your spam. So go check. It's from ESPN. It might have my name on it, might not have my name on it, but that'll let you log in, get your team, oops, knock the microphone, get your team set up, and we'll be ready to go on the 29th. Felix, hey! Let me see. So, there was something I wanted to talk about. Since the camp opened, I just read a good story about Josh Brook. And it's from Eric Engel, who's a pretty good sports writer. And he seems to think Brook has a pretty good shot at maybe breaking camp with the team. I wouldn't think so after the rookie camp that we saw, but maybe he's looking better in the main camp. Scotty's in 4 pools, and mine is 1. And how about the Sinbin? Did the Sinbin get you in there? I got into the Sinbin one also. Alsner injured, yeah. Alsner's injured. Fairbrother's injured. I don't know what. Wait, there's 2 others. I keep knocking my microphone. There's 2 other injuries. I had it up on my computer. Yeah, I can't remember. But I don't know how serious, but probably mostly day to day. Don't forget, it's the beginning of camp. They're going at it a little harder than they train, obviously, in the off season. So these kind of things happen. Let's see. Oh, someone had trouble signing up. Sorry. MJ, you had trouble signing up as a Kevin. Okay, but I noticed you're in. I saw your team is set up, so you're good. Okay, Scotty, good. You're in the Sinbin. Good. We'll have good competition this year. Not that it was in before, but I'm just saying. Bent the new camera. Sorry. Okay, David. Yeah, it's not the new camera. This is my phone. I've been filming with it for a little while. It's just I'm in my studio to do the live stream. That's what's different. I usually do this in the living room because the camera on the computer, my main computer is a little older. It doesn't have a camera. Oddly enough, I got a refurbished computer, an external. I've tried. Ooh, my internet connection, they're saying, is unstable. I wonder if that... anyways, guys, can you see me? Still no problem? Anyway, I hope so. It went away anyway. Okay, so In the living room, I have a computer. It's an older computer with a webcam, and it's fine, but it has no Wi-Fi card. So I have to plug in, and my router's in the front. That's why it's there. So now I'm on my phone. I can be in my room. Hopefully my Wi-Fi doesn't lose too much speed, but apparently this thing will adjust for that. So, yeah. What kind of phone do I have? I am running on a Samsung, I believe it's a J5. It's not the newest of new, but it's a decent camera. As I upgrade, it'll get better. And I will hopefully soon enough upgrade my computer and get a new camera. And we'll see how things go. As the channel grows and allows me to do that, that's the plan. I look like an 80s. Why? Yeah, it's the light. When I get close, it gets yellow. Or you're saying I actually look like one. I guess so. Tell me who you think I look like. And I have to get close because I'm old. You see the glasses? It's on my phone. It's not as big. I have to get close to see it. And they put it in a way that's a little different. And it's white on the video background, and it's a little harder to see. Oh, Mr. Pixel, I don't remember him. Do I know what team I am playing as in franchise mode in NHL 20? Oh, you're doing the Montreal Canadiens. I hear there's some alumni players missing from like the Bruins don't have Bobby Orr. Dominic Hasek's not in it for any team. I hear they're missing a lot, but yeah, I don't play video games really, so I don't play in the NHL 19, 20, whatever year you want to come up with. Scotty, I see the quality-wise. Let me see. What do I think? Oh, yeah, your latest streams quality is an A1 compared to how you used A1. Sound and everything is great. You know what you just gotta work on your background a little bit, which I know you might have space problems, and I get that. I'm in my bedroom. This is my studio is my bedroom. So, you know, that's the only thing. Otherwise, your camera, oh, that's great. Evan says, well, I'm from the 80s. I'm from farther back than the 80s. No, my hockey, I started really getting into hockey in the 1970, 71. A little bit in the late 60s, but it was Tony Esposito. I fell in love with Tony Esposito back then, and Bob Orr. And then I started becoming a Habs fan, and ever since then. So, no, I've been at it since 50 years. Yeah, no problem, Scotty. No, really, it's great. We got to get together, eh? Me, you, and Matt. We gotta have a talk. We got some good things happening, guys. I don't know if Scotty will mind me saying this, but Scotty, Matt from Sinbin, and I are working on some things, and we'll be announcing them as we get them decided, and it'll be basically collaboration, probably once a week. We haven't really, Scotty, I've talked with Matt. I haven't really talked with Scotty, so he's probably sitting there going, what? I know nothing about this. That's why we're going to have a talk. But I feel we can talk about it. Just to announce, look for that in the future. I think your guys going to really like it. We're going to come up with something really, really good. And I can only say I'm lucky enough to have found these two young guys, because the two ages, Scott's 31, if he doesn't mind my saying, Matt's 23, I'm 56. Add them up, and they still don't get to my age. And I'm lucky enough to have them let me hop on their coattails because they talk a good game of hockey. I'm from the old school, and I don't talk as good a game as I say it this way. I don't talk technically the game that you young guys do with all your statistics and just all the terms. Even the terms are a little new, and I don't think they use down low anymore. And to me, that's a newer term. So they didn't used to say down low when I was a kid, and then it was down low. I got used to that, and now you say something. Whoop, knocked my microphone over. Sorry. Now you guys say something else for down low. I don't even know what it is. So yeah, but anyways, it's a great combination of old and young, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We got some good chemistry going on, and we're gonna have something for you guys. I know I'm talking ahead, Scotty, for you, but I know we're going to work out something and come up with a really good idea. So, yeah, and Scotty's going to be doing his own live streams, and we're going to collab on that and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. These guys are lucky. They got the computers. I have to collab with them and hang on their coattails because I can't do a collab on my own right now with somebody. So, anyways, we have a lot of fun together, so it doesn't matter. Quel est ton joueur préféré dans la Ligue nationale hockey? You know, I gotta say it's gotta be a Hab. I mostly follow the Habs. This is gonna be now the second season where I've got to, well, not that I've got to, but I've got to pay more attention to the players on the other teams. So I don't want to say I have a favorite player that's other than a Hab. And right now, I have to say it's Max Domi. I love Max Domi for a couple of things. First of all, just his raw love and appreciation of Montreal and its tradition and what it means to wear the CH on your chest. I love that about him. I love watching this kid skate. When he's strong on his stick, there's a new term for you that you could never used to use. But when he's strong on his stick, that means he's carrying the puck and you can't knock that puck off his stick, and he's skating and he's going and circling around. And I love to watch that. And he just has great talent. So that's my favorite NHL player right now. Nolan, you're 12. Hey, Nolan, thanks for joining in. Nice to see you young guys in here, too. Although you young guys causing problems for us guys, but no, it's not your fault. It's just YouTube and their policy for kids. But my channel is nice and safe. I do not swear. I do not do anything like that. So it's nice to have some young guys in. We get a nice little... like I'm 56, so you got some. I won't name the older guys in case they don't want me to name them. But there's a few guys here that are older than me, and from my demographics, I've got everything from, well, now I know under 13, but it shows 13, and then for all the age groups all the way up. So I've got everybody in here, and it's nice. It's a nice melting pot mix. Okay, I'm missing a lot. Remember, guys, I'm missing a lot of these things. Hey, Helen, thanks for coming back in. George is in the room. Yeah, I'm missing some of your guys' comments because I've got a much smaller comment window on this new setup, and it's set up. It's written in a way it's hard for me to see, so I got to concentrate. Trying to get this one. Yes, Scotty, that I'm not going to read it out loud but yeah, it's exactly what we got going, and I think we'll be able to satisfy everybody that comes to watch us in an age group with an opinion, and I think they're going to really enjoy what we're going to put out there. Even though we don't know what it is yet, and that's honestly the truth. We haven't sat down together to talk, but I wanted to announce to you guys that something really good, if you like watching me, Scotty, and Matt, and I know we have a lot of the same subscribers, you're going to really like it when we come up with a weekly show, all based on the games and the hockey. So we're going to come up with something, and yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. We're starting to have a lot of fun here with this, and I hope you guys are noticing it and enjoying it. Let's see. Let me get back in here. Evan thinks he can beat me in a Canadiens quiz. Okay, but who's going to ask the questions? Because if you ask the questions, you probably know the answer. So it's got to be somebody who can ask Canadiens questions that isn't you or I. And I'm all for it. If I lose, I lose. It's fine. How is Suzuki a bust? Someone say Suzuki is a bust? Ryan Suzuki. I had my eye on Ryan Suzuki. I'm not unhappy we got Cole Caulfield. Not in any way. But nice to see Ryan Suzuki had a really good rookie camp. A1. Nolan, I'd like to see Suzuki make the team as long as he has a really good camp and he justifies it. I just don't want to see him on the team just because he's a hot rookie and they want people to watch. I think if he needs to go to Laval, then he needs to go to Laval, and that'll be fine. But yes, I'd love to see Nick Suzuki on the power play on this team. I think he can really help the power play. Okay, I missed it. Thanks, Sports King. Appreciate it. I hope you're going to check in and check us out. Okay, Sid Vicious, I don't know what you're talking about there, but I'm sure I'm on your side because I don't know who they're saying is a bust. I don't see anybody yet as a bust. Alsner was a bust. Loser drinks ranch. What are we talking about? I'm not agreeing to anything I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, I get it. Sorry, Evan. Nah, not for a quiz. That's too heavy. No. Sorry, I can't agree to that. Come up with something better than that. I can't agree to that one. It's a lot. Drinking ranch, not an easy thing to do. Have you ever done it? Because it's not going to be an easy thing to do. And I want it to be for something more than just a quiz thing. Come on, I'm going to kick your ass anyway. And you don't want to have to drink ranch, do you? Okay, what to do about Alsner? Not much. If he's injured and he can't play his way onto the team for some miracle, they're gonna have to send him back to the AHL. I don't see what else. And it's up to him. Does he want to go back or he doesn't want to go back? If he wants to keep his $4 million salary, he goes back. If he doesn't, he could always refuse to go back to the AHL. That null and voids his contract, is what I've been led to understand. And then he can renegotiate or negotiate with another team at a probably much more logical salary, probably league minimum, and be a 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever defenseman and play in the NHL. I don't think he's going to play here, especially if he can't play a full camp. Wait, whoa. Hey, whoa. How many cups have the Habs won in their entire history? Well, if you want to go into that, no, wait a second. 24 is the answer but a lot of people don't know that one of those cups was won before the NHL was formed. So they actually won 23 NHL cups and one other for a total of 24. And that's why the next one will be 25, because it will be 25 Stanley Cups, but not in the NHL. The first one was won before that. No, Evan, you're wrong. And you could go check it out. I could hear, but I'll let you check it out so you know. Did I just outsmart you? Yeah, no, because I know my stuff, especially about that. If you're going to catch me, you're going to catch me in the last 10 years. Stuff more from the last 10 years that I might have not caught. I wasn't watching nearly as much as I did before that. Yeah. Okay, if I miss one, you're going to have to redo it because it's easy to miss any questions. No, I didn't. David, I don't think the Leafs, they do, but they have defense. They need defense that knows how to play defense. That's not Alsner's strong point. The NHA, National Hockey Association, that was the first cup. Yeah, I don't think, Sports King, I don't think it's a possibility. Maybe, I guess, because he played okay there, but I don't know if Washington wants him back. But they don't have a lot of cap space, I think. So if they're going to bring some defense in, I guess he would qualify if he would give up his contract. Or Montreal would pay most of his contract. Okay, Evan, but you said 25. I said 23 and 24 overall. So I still got it right. Not to rub it in or anything. Sports King asked me if I get cigarette. How do you know I get my cigarettes from over there? George Marner signed a horrible, stupid contract that he signed yesterday. I did a little video about it. When the Habs make the playoffs, who do you get? By the way, my hand's there because I have to hold this down or it goes too fast for me. Wait, when the Habs make the playoffs, who do you get? Sorry, I got a pop-up. Who do I guess Who do I guess they would play? Oh, well, I don't know if I want to get into guessing that kind of stuff. It's enough to guess that they're going to make the playoffs and stuff like that. I don't want to take a guess on who they're going to play. Down the road, when we get closer, yeah. What individual award did Wow win in his first season? I know. Conn Smythe Trophy. Am I right? Because his first season was 86. They won the Stanley Cup, and Patrick Roy was the Conn Smythe Trophy winner because he was awesome. I tend to crow a little bit when I'm right and I beat somebody, but I don't know how well I'm going to do when Evan beats me, because at some point he's going to get questions and he's going to beat me. But I don't know how old you are, Evan. So these are older questions. You might, I know this stuff because it's older. You might not know yet. Rick with the win. Well, yeah, of course it was Conn Smythe. I know that. No, 84. No, it was not 84. He started he might have been played a game or two in 85, but he started in 86, and he was a rookie, and he won the Stanley Cup because we won the Cup in 86, and he was maybe the biggest reason. I would think he was the biggest reason that we won the Stanley Cup in 86. That's henceforth the Conn Smythe Trophy. Oh, Evan, you're 12. Okay. No, listen, buddy, you're probably going to beat me on the stuff that's in the last 5 years or so. But if you're going to be guessing back then, unless you're using your computer then you can get it faster than me. But I'm good on the old stuff. I don't know everything, of course not, but I'm usually pretty good on the old stuff. Who scored game-winning goal, Game 5 against LA for 93 Cup? Game-winning goal, Game 5. Wait, no. The Habs won the Cup in Game 5. So it wasn't for LA. So you're trying to trick me. No, it didn't work. If I'm correct, wasn't it a 5-game series? What's a scam? No one's scamming you, buddy. Don't worry, Evan. I like you, buddy. And I didn't know you were 12, but now I know why you want me to drink ranch. I get a little better understanding. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to sort of read your comment, Scott. Evan's 12. About Mitch Marner. Can't stand the kid. He ruined so many good hockey shows by not signing. And yeah, I know. And he ended up taking less than they offered, but he wanted the term. He wanted 5 years. He got 6. Patrick Roy was a 3rd-round pick when he was drafted in 84. He played 1 game with the Habs in 85. I believe it was 1 game. And then he started in 86. Maybe not at the beginning of the season, but he took over at some point, and he was just lights out. And, yeah, he carried the team. Well, it's okay, Evan. Hey, look, it's a good test for what you've learned or what you haven't learned. And like I said, you might get... I'm not all that great with the last 10 years, some of it anyway, because I wasn't following as closely as I used to follow. But if you want to go back to those days, I mean, hockey was life. Then I had kids, and then hockey sort of had to take a backseat a little bit more every year until very recently. Am I going to be buying any new jerseys? David asks. The answer to that question is that yes, but it might take a little while. Anything new I've got to get, it's got to come from the channel. Is the channel making any money? No, not yet. It will eventually, and as I grow and those things are, those options are open, yes. I'm going to upgrade my equipment so I can do better videos, and I'm going to get some new stuff for the walls. And a couple of the items on the back are going to get auctioned, not like auctioned off, but they'll get included in some of the contests and giveaways and stuff. So I'm not sure what. And if David McCormick is watching, don't worry, not your poncho. That's a gift that'll never go anywhere. Let me see if I can get back to these now. It's going to be a hard year for the Habs to make the playoffs. So many good teams in the East this year. I was talking about this earlier today. This is what I think. First of all, the Habs missed the playoffs by 2 games, 2 points last season. So to get... Okay, first of all, we don't know if 98 points is going to be the one that gets you, number that gets you in or not, but it's going to be around there, right? So say to get safely 6 more points, safely get into the playoffs, even as a wild card. It's not a lot. You're talking about 3 wins, 3 extra wins. That's not a lot. So, do I think they'll make that? Yes. And then another reason is I think this Toronto business with Marner is not going to help this team. First of all, they're 11, 12 million over the cap right now that they have to reduce by day 1 of the season. They cannot start a game without being under the cap or right at the cap, and they are way hell over the cap. They're using up all of their LTIR, or if not all, almost all. So they have to reduce. What are they going to reduce with? I know they picked up a player from another team that I think they were going to use to reduce that. Being a legitimate LTIR guy, and his salary will come off, and that's fine. But it still doesn't leave them a lot of money to put a cast around these big guns that they've got. You know, even you got to include William Nylander in there, because he's making 7 or 6.9, almost 7. So I think this is going to really affect Toronto. And I know everyone's expecting Toronto's going to be this and that, but I don't know about that. I don't think these guys really love the team or really love the city. They just love money, and it shows in the fact of what happened. You know, I really believe that, and it's not because it's Toronto, and Toronto's my least favorite team. I'm not being biased here. I really believe this. And Boston hasn't signed McAvoy yet. They haven't signed. There's another kid there that's on the defense. So they got 2 defensemen unsigned that were part of their run to the Stanley Cup. If they don't sign these guys before camp finishes, even if they sign them early on, again, they didn't play in camp and they're not up to speed. It could affect the long term. So I see Montreal maybe getting in a lot easier, surprising a lot of people, and I think with Toronto and Boston in these situations, the door might be more open than we think. And then every year there's a team that has a major injury or something goes wrong and they fall out and whatever. So yeah, I think Montreal, if everybody gets a little bit better, they're going to make the playoffs. And now I don't even remember why I'm off on that tangent. I know it was from a question. Don't ask me the question. And that's because this is my 3rd live stream today. I know. By the way, Fedge, is that you, Jeff? Fedge? We just on Twitter, right, before? Because I wasn't sure who Fedge was before, but I think that was you. Who was drafted by? I missed a lot. I miss a lot now because of this. I got to get used to the new stream and the chat. So forgive me, guys. Joe says Carlo's the other guy. They're not signed, and this is going to be a big... Yeah, you agree with me then, Joe. I think this could be... You know, everyone's having them ahead of us, but this could be something that affects those teams. And if we just stay steady with a little bit more improvement, I think the opportunity's there. And believe me, I have seen this happen, this kind of stuff happen before. I'm not talking in hope. I've seen it happen before, so I hope it will happen again. Not, you know... Okay, someone's asking me about Honka. Fleury for Honka? I don't think I would do that. Only because I don't know a ton about Honka, but what I see isn't that great. And the reason he's a young kid that they want to get rid of is usually not a great reason. I think he's a kid not living up to his hype and his potential. And I don't know, do we need another kid like that? Will he be better if he makes it to Montreal? Could be, I guess. Change of scenery sometimes does that, but I don't know enough about him any more than that to say anymore. But my first instinct is no. Cale Fleury has an opportunity here. He's a potential guy who can make the team, and yeah, I think I'd rather stick with that right now. Oh, I see Dryden's name. Dryden was drafted by Boston. Yeah, it's true, but he never played for them. We traded for him, and he became a superstar. He only played a few seasons because he wanted to go into politics. He played 8 seasons of 9 years that of his since he started. Because he took 1 year off. He was fighting a contract. He wanted to be paid more. They didn't want to pay him more. So he went and he worked for a law firm in Toronto for a year. The Habs did not have a great year. And basically he was able to get what he wanted when he came back. And then in 79, I guess he had so much success and he had so many things he wanted to do other than hockey. And being that he's a very smart guy, like a real cerebral, intellectual guy, that was enough hockey for him, and he went off to other challenges. But he had a great career. If you look at him today, though, and you younger guys, if you want to go back on YouTube, go and take a look at him. And even me, who he was, if not the best, until Ken Dryden was the best goalie until Patrick Waugh came along for me. I go look at his old games now, and he was a stand-up goalie. He wasn't a butterfly goalie. Stand-up goalies look like they're not making a big effort a lot of times, and what a difference it is than to watch the goalies today, who are, I guess, pretty much all butterfly goalies now. And yeah, it's such a huge difference. You see, Evan says 9 seasons. No, I believe he played 8 seasons. There was one season, I'm going to say 74, where he did not play. He took the year off. He was in a contract dispute, and he just said, I'm not going to play. How many years younger are the Canadiens than the U.S. state of Alaska? Oh, to me, that's not really a hockey question, Evan. I'm sorry, but let me know. You know the answer, so I want to know the answer if you know it. But that's not a hockey question for me. But that's cool. Ken Dryden called the Miracle on Ice game with Al Michaels, and that's true. I remember that. You know, I not off the top of my head, but now you mention it, I do remember that, and he was good at it too. That's one of the reasons the Flyers won the Cup, Evan. Yeah, Montreal was just not the team. They were, they might have been rebuilding a little bit at that time too, just retooling, and without Dryden, it just wasn't the same. Somebody said they gotta go. Sports King, thanks, man. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, buddy. Have a good night. 3. Evan, I don't know why you're saying 3. Do I think Caden Primo will be our starter? You know, I want to say yes to that, obviously, but I mean, it's a hard question to say yes to. But I think if he keeps trending in the direction that he is, and they develop him properly, then yes, I really do believe that this kid has the potential to be the next starting goalie for many years. He's certainly showing it early on. Yeah, Joe agrees with me. He only played 8 seasons out of 9. He left for a year. 3 for Alaska and the Habs. Oh, that's cool. 3. That's the only difference. Wow. Yeah, Montreal's a pretty old team from when they first started. They're quite an old team. Way older than the NHL is itself. How much time it takes to develop a good goalie? Well, just I think you must have your own opinion on that too. You know, every goalie is different, like anything else. Goalie and center probably the 2 hardest. Well, goalie, elite defenseman, and center are the 2 or 3 hardest positions to develop. So, I've seen goalies develop. Look, Tom Barrasso as an 18-year-old, wasn't he 18 or 19? First season in, was a great goalie. And then a lot of goalies will take 4 or 5 years before they fully develop and get better, so I say fully develop to get to the NHL and then get better as they age. And a lot of goalies can play a little bit later because they develop into their best selves, where they hit their ceilings later. Something about Patrick Kane. Will Patrick Kane lead the NHL in scoring? No. I fully expect McDavid to, unless his injury is something that drags into the season. If he's fully recovered by the time the puck drops in Game 1, I fully expect it to be McDavid. Will Patrick Kane be in the top 10? More than likely, yes. The Canadiens will be a team around for a long time, Evan. They released. Oh, sorry, Jeff. They released somebody. Who was it you were talking about? I'm not sure who you were talking about. Sorry, I might have missed that tweet. I'm not sure, so we got to write it again. Who they released last year? Hab Nation. We're talking about a bunch of stuff. Hab Nation. Hey, by the way, hi and thanks for coming in. Tony Esposito was actually drafted by us, yes, and he played 13 games, but we traded him extremely quick. He played 13 games here, and is maybe that might have been the reason. I don't know the reason why I fixated on Tony Esposito, but that might have been the reason. Is his first season was here. They traded him to get somebody, and I can't tell you who that was, or draft picks, or there was a reason like that they traded him. He was young, and they were strong in nets. They didn't need him, and he was, they gave him an opportunity elsewhere. I'm not sure if that's what it was, but makes sense. Fucali was they released Fucali. Yeah, Fucali's window closed. You guys got to agree, Fucali's window was closed, and there's a lot of guys down on the farm right now. How many points is Kotkaniemi going to get this year? And when he is in his prime, what is ceiling for points in a year? Nolan is asking me that. Nolan, I think Kotkaniemi is going to get. I'm going to be safe and say 55, because I think if he's going to play second line minutes, he's going to only get that later into the year. I believe he's going to start on the third line, although I could be wrong. We'll see how the training camp goes. I think if he was playing second line to start the season, we would look at 60-plus points for Kotkaniemi. I think he's a kid that just gets better all the time, and I can't wait to see how much better he's improved. He put on, I heard, between 10 and 14 pounds of muscle, and that's exactly what he needed. I think we're going to see good stuff. His ceiling, in my opinion, Kotkaniemi's ceiling, I want to say 90 points. I don't want to be too high or too low on this, because I think he still has potential. We don't know yet to hit more than that, but I'd like to say his ceiling's about 90 points, maybe 85 to 90 points, which is damn good. I think he could potentially get close to 40 goals, but I don't know. I want to see a little bit more from him. I want to see how he does this year, but I like the potential this kid has. I so like Kotkaniemi. Anybody who thinks I'm much more enamored with Caulfield or Suzuki or Poehling, I love all those guys as young kids coming up, and nothing's changed. I gushed about KK last season, and I still think this kid is going to be awesome. I really do. I just like this kid for a lot of different reasons. Jeff, you agree with me on KK? Am I going to the Kraft Hockeyville game? No, sorry, I'm not. I'm not sure where that is. I doubt it's here in Montreal. First preseason game is on Monday, and do I think Suzuki and Poehling will be in the lineup? Yeah, I kind of do. They don't have them play. I was just reading on Twitter. They have them. It looks like Josh Brooks got the best opportunity right here. They paired him up with Kulak to start. Suzuki is with. They're both not with anybody special, as far as they're not with regulars. So they're lining up with. So I don't know. I would think in the first game, maybe that's why they're lining up with not regular players, because in the first couple of games, you're not going to see a lot of the regulars from last year. So I'll say this, that I'm going to outsmart what looks logical and say it's the opposite. That, yeah, I do expect to see Poehling and Suzuki. And that's probably why their opening game line partners are less than you would think they would have. Who do I think is my favorite for the ECHL Kelly Cup? Sorry, Dave, I don't know anything about the ECHL. I really don't. Trivia question. What does the C and the H in the Canadiens logo stand for? Club de Hockey Canadien. CCH. It's really CCH. I believe that's how they have it, but it's I believe it's Club de Hockey Canada, Canadien. And that one, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong on that one. Tonio was moved. Oh yeah, that's right. It was Rogie Vachon, because Rogie Vachon was going to be made the number one goalie. They didn't need. I believe they didn't need him, or they traded for Vachon. I'm not sure. I remember when Vachon was traded, I was in kindergarten, I think. It was a big deal. Okay, so Gislain, I got it right then. Club de Hockey Canadien. I mean, I thought I was right, but then it's only CH on the logo, but yeah. Jeff asks, who are the only goaltending brothers to play against each other in the NHL? Ken and Dave Dryden. Ken and Dave Dryden. Man, I'm batting it out of here tonight, guys. Yeah, I believe the Dryden brothers are the only two NHL goalies to actually face off against each other in an NHL game. David, you're asking me what is my favorite meat, as in like meat that you eat? Because you wrote it meat like to meet somebody. So I just want to make sure that you mean like steak or something like that. And if you're asking that, it's probably beef. But I have diabetes now. It's not bad or anything, but I have it, and my doctor recommends I eat beef only once or twice a week. So I eat a lot of pork and chicken. Fed says, ding, ding, ding. I got it and batted it out of the park, guys. I like these questions, basically because for me, they're a little on the easy side. So I like that when you ask me what I consider an easy question, because I know I'm going to get it right. So if you want to challenge me, you got to go a little bit harder than that. Yeah, David, so it's definitely beef. But that's still nothing to do with hockey. But it's okay, you can ask. Yeah, no, Nolan, I'm not. I am in Montreal. I'm not going to Renous. I'm not that I wouldn't. I'd love to, but no, I can't. I'm at the bottom there. So let's see if I can figure out anything I might have missed. Suzuki played with Drouin and Domi. Oh, I heard no, I only heard Drouin and Domi played together, but I heard Suzuki had two other line partners. So maybe yesterday they were. I don't know if today was the first. Today's the second day they're on the ice, I think. But no, I heard. Okay, Gislain's asked me who wore 92 before Drouin. Wow, good. I'm glad Joe answered it, because I wouldn't have got that one. Steve Ott. Apparently, Steve Ott wore number 92. I was never a Steve Ott fan. Never. Evan says 870, 870, 870. I'm not sure why. Not sure why, Evan. Hinty was known for the lick gate. Mark Recchi? Mark Recchi didn't wear 92, did he? When the last time Montreal Canadiens went to the Eastern Conference Finals was when Subban was playing. Wasn't it a few years ago? I'm going to say, yeah, Nolan put 2013, a few years ago. Or 24, I don't know, but it was just a few years ago. Subban was here that year. He was still here, is what I want to say. So wait, now, Gislain, did I get that right? Mark Recchi wore 92? Is that who you're saying? I don't know anybody who had Lickgate. Because Mark Recchi, he licked somebody when he was with Boston when they won the Cup in 2011. Steve Ott did that? Oh, I'm okay, because I'm going with Mark Recchi did it when he was playing for Boston. That's right. I didn't think Mark Recchi wore number 92. Yeah, I didn't see. If those were the years, there was a few years there. I didn't watch a lot of hockey and a lot of Canadians, so I didn't see that. That's where you guys can get me, you see? Yeah, that's where you guys can get me on the questions. Reki was... I thought, yeah, that's why number 92 didn't make sense to me. Bit of Topi. Do I think PK Weber trade was good? Looking back at it now, personally, I think it was a win. I've said win-win. Well, win for us from when I first heard about it. When I heard about the trade, because I was a Subban fan, and when the trade happened, I'm gonna say I was at work, and my ex-wife, she texted me that Habs just traded Subban. And I asked her the text who'd they trade him for, and in my mind I'm thinking the only two names that I would agree that I was okay with was Drew Doughty or Shea Weber, and then she came back with Shea Weber, and I was like, well, I'm not happy they traded Subban, but if they were talking about doing it, so it was not a shock. But if they were trading him, they got one of the two guys that I said I'd be okay with, so I'm okay with it. And yeah, in the long run, it looks like if it wasn't a win for Montreal, it was at least even. Can't say worse than that now, since Subban's on his third team. The average hockey fan is saying he likes Larry Robinson, but I don't know why at this moment. Nolan is asking me what my favorite band is. Nolan, I don't know if you know who they are. My era is long past, so I like them all. It's a nostalgic thing. You'll understand when you get older, Nolan. But some of the stuff I didn't like when I was younger, I hear it now and go, oh yeah, I like that. And that's only because it makes me think of when I was young. So I don't have a favorite band right now. I have a lot of bands I like. Frank the Tank, I haven't seen you in there for a while, buddy. Frank the Tank, thanks for coming in, buddy. I have a trivia question. Who scored the last goal at the Montreal Forum? Ah, damn it, I know that. Damn it, I know that, and it's not going to come. So you got to tell me, but I know that. Anybody can answer that first? One of you guys answer that. Who scored the last goal in the Montreal Forum? Damn, I know that one. Good question. Good question. I like that one. I just wish my brain was working better for that question, but you got me on that. But I know it, so when someone says it, it's going to come out. I'm going to go, oh, yeah, I knew that. You would know because... But I could name you... Nolan. I can name you a bunch of bands. I don't have a particular favorite. I mean... okay, right off the top of my head, here's one that I like a lot, that I've been listening to a lot, is Lynyrd Skynyrd. I like Lynyrd Skynyrd a lot these days. I'm talking about these days. I've got a lot of stuff I like, but Queen, I like Queen. I saw them, great show at the Forum. Yeah, I mean, I like bands like that, so you must know those bands. Here is a hint. He was part of the Roy trade. You're talking Mike Keane? Did Mike Keane get the last goal of the Forum? You know, if it is, it's something I read. I just read a book called The Habs by Dick Irvin, and it covers everything between 1940 and 1991, where his father started coaching the team, and his stories about the Habs, and he was obviously the play-by-play and color man and all that. Okay, and they talked about that there. That's why I said I should know this, because he mentioned it. I just don't remember it being Mike Keane, but Mike Keane was with Patrick Roy in the trade. I don't know if there was anybody else in there. Mike Keane. Okay, got it. Yes, David. Freebird, just heard it today. It was Frank the Tank is saying not Keener. I don't know who else went along with Patrick Roy. Wasn't it just Patrick? No, there was somebody else. Dion? No. Gilbert Dion? No, he didn't score the last goal. No, Dion. I don't know where Dion went. Dick Irvin wrote many books, Joe. Oh, one of the players we received. We got Jocelyn Thibault, Martin Rosinski. We got Andrei Kovalenko. Andrei Kovalenko. Did I get it? Andrei Kovalenko. It was either Kovalenko or Rosinski. I don't think it was Rosinski. It was Kovalenko. Yeah, I got it. Not as big. That's a single. I knocked a single. That wasn't a home run because I needed a lot of hints on that one. I like this trivia thing. So, yeah. What were we talking about before the trivia now? I don't know. We might be boring people. Yeah, his number was 51. Built like a tank. Kovalenko was not a tall guy, but he was over 200 pounds. And wide and built like a tank. It's too bad he didn't have more of an aggressive attitude. He would have been a little bit better here. He didn't last here too long. Rosinski lasted a lot longer. Rosinski had a really good season. First year he came over. In a short period of time, he had 29 goals or 20 odd goals. It was Dion that had 21 goals when he came up in a short period of time. I think he had 29 goals or something like that, 30 goals, 35 goals in like 60 games, 56 games. That was with him and Donfus. Great combination. That was their best season together as far as points producing and goals and stuff. And yeah, and Rosinski stayed here for years, 5-6 years. Yeah, Keane was traded with Raw, but I thought that's what he meant. The one who was traded with Raw, not for Raw. I misread it or he miswrote it. I'm not positive. Hey, Peter, I just noticing you there. Hey, Peter, thanks for coming in, buddy. I'm scrolling down to get some questions. Yeah, oh, Joe, Dick Irvin wrote, I would think, 5-6 books all about the Canadiens. If you like Habs history at all, in their winning days, and just a lot of stuff that a lot of people forget or don't know anymore about their early days. Yeah, Dick Irvin writes some really good books. Ken Dryden. If you haven't read The Game by Ken Dryden, I recommend that one. That's a really, really good book, especially for us older guys who saw those years. It talks mostly about his early days. Well, I guess right up until 79, the 4 cups in a row, all that kind of stuff. And it's a really great book about the game. Frank... no, but I still think Sam Pollock was the best GM. Frank Selke was a great GM. I'm not taking anything away from Frank Selke, but Sam Pollock was more of a magician than Selke. Although I would think he learned how to be that kind of GM from Selke, but he was an improvement on it. And between the two of those guys, how many years did they just almost steal players from other teams? Not that they really did, but I mean, they didn't offer great... I don't know. A lot of teams just wanted to trade for players that played in Montreal because they thought that winning tradition would just rub off or whatever it was. Something like that. Yeah. Selke did. He built the farm teams. You're right. And Pollock, I mean, he improved on that, but yeah, Selke really he built the farm system up. Dave, I do know you love your Southern rock. Me too. I love Southern rock too. Not my favorite, but there's some bands that I really, really like. I wanted to look at this one. Jeremy DeLuca, Scotty Bowman. Scotty Bowman was not the GM, though. If that's what you're talking about, he wasn't the GM. In Buffalo, he was GM. Who do I think is the best player that Kotkaniemi clicks with? Personally, I think Paul Byron is the best guy to have on his line. Honestly though, I want to see. I would really. I don't know if this would happen, but I would like to see Domi switch off to. No, okay, I was thinking of somebody else. No, Rick, getting tired. Like I said, it's late and I've been doing live streaming all day. I want to see Domi switch to the left side and Drouin switch over to the right side. And I want to slot KK right in the center. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see KK move up into the second line. And I think if he does, Domi's going to have to move over. And I don't have a problem with Domi moving over at all. I know some people do, but I don't. Trivia time. Name the only team with the Stanley Cup to win the Stanley Cup on Forum ice. I should know that. Would I say Detroit? Hey, David, good night. Thanks for coming in as always. David, you're always around. Whenever I do anything, you're always there, and I appreciate that, buddy. Have a great night. I'd like to see the line for the power play. Yeah, that might happen, actually. The power play might be the first time we see it. Calgary Flames. I'm not sure what Calgary Flames did. Yep, Flames. They won in 89. That's it? 89? Yeah, they beat... Oh, that's right. Very good. They beat Montreal. I forgot that's the question. Yeah, they beat Montreal in 89. That's right. They were pretty good that year, I got to tell you. If I'm correct, they have not won it again. Mike Vernon in nets. He was really good. It was a good rivalry all year. It was, I believe, the top two teams in each division end up meeting in the finals, and yeah, that's what happened. Michel Therrien is actually fourth in all-time wins for Montreal coach. Yeah, isn't that kind of crazy? That's just crazy. Remo is saying Lanny McDonald, and that would be because it was nice to see Lanny McDonald win the cup that year. Even though I'm definitely not a Leafs fan, Lanny McDonald is the kind of player that even if he's on the team you like the least, you have to respect the guy and like him. Darryl Sittler, same thing. What a great combination, Sittler and McDonald. And it was nice, even though we lost. After I cried, I didn't cry, but after you get over it, it was nice to see McDonald skating around the rink with that cup, and that he finally won at the end of his long career. Great player, great all-around guy. KK and Drouin didn't click last year. Rick, I'd like to see Byron and KK with Armia. At least see how they do. Yeah, now KK didn't click with Drouin, but that's because they moved Drouin down to the third line. I'm not talking about third line minutes. I'm not talking about third line at all. If they move him up. Also, last year KK was not getting. He was sheltered. He was playing sheltered minutes. They weren't playing him against the best lines. He was playing a lot of sheltered minutes. Probably why he didn't click. But you move him up into this different situation, and another thing is Drouin would be on the other wing, and I think it makes a difference, and I would like to see what happens there, because basically I don't think you're going to move Drouin down to the third line, so he's going to be playing second line. If I want KK playing second line, he's going to have to play with Drouin. Drouin and Gallagher would make Drew and Gallagher would make a great first line. Basically, any line with Gallagher, you would get nice results. No, I don't want to break up that first line unless there's a reason to break up Tatar, Deneau, Gallagher. You don't break them up. You mean Montreal has never won the cup in Forum Ice, or do you mean Calgary was the only visiting? Yes, that's what he means. Calgary was the only visiting team to win the cup on Forum Ice. He did click with Drouin. KK had the best goal of the season with a pass from Drouin. Yeah, but they didn't click overall. Not to say they had zero success, but they didn't really click. It was, and it's true they didn't, but it was more the line they were playing on there. For me, in my opinion. Galley needs shooters on his line. No, Galley's the shooter. Galley's the shooter on the line. Galley needs guys that can feed him the puck. That's what he needs. And Deneau is really good at that. Deneau's probably way better than most people give him credit for. And yeah, Galley is the shooter on that line. And Tatar is, he can shoot and he can pass. So I think it's a really, really good dynamic on that line. I don't want to see that broken up. Do I think Price has another Vezina in his future? Yeah, I do. I think this year he may be in the running for the Vezina. I don't know if he'll win it outright, but I've said it already that I believe Price has a Vezina run this year in his future. Okay, Jeff, who are we talking about again? Galley. Galley, if you notice, last season, Galley was getting a lot more shots from farther out around the top of the face-off circle. So Galley is starting to develop the goals from farther out with his shot. And that's another reason why I was asked, I don't know if it was the other live stream or this one, I was asked about how many goals I think Galley will get. I think Galley can approach 40 goals because he's starting to score from farther out. And if he can develop both sides, like he can be dangerous from inside the face-off circle or outside the face-off circle, either side. It makes a big difference. And he'll get some... he's the shooter on that line. What's the best power play combo? Yeah, I don't know if I can... I'm probably going to look like a real fool trying to come up with a power play combo right now. I don't know if I can analyze it enough to come up with one that I'm going to be proud of coming up with. So I got to back off on that one and say not yet. I don't think I want to try to figure that out yet. What I have to do is I've got to go watch more of Draft Dynasty. I don't know if you guys watch Draft Dynasty. This guy, well, he's a scout. He was not a pro scout, but he was a scout. He knows how to analyze a game and break down a game. I found this guy. He had 200 subscribers. I think I might have 400, 500, somewhere in there. He's over 1,000 already. And when I first started watching him, I said, "Man, this guy's gonna pass me like a rocket." He's so in depth, but I mean, his videos take a week to do. It's not something I really want to do, but he's so in depth. So if you want to go and take a look, he can break it down so he can kind of do. I can't do that, so I'm trying to watch more of his videos so I can maybe learn how to try to figure things like that out. I might have my idea of who I'd like to see out there, but I'm probably totally wrong and for bad reason, and I don't want to take a shot at it. If I sound like I'm scared, it's probably because I am. Yeah, I just don't want to look bad on it right now. So, excuse me. Second favorite team is Team USA. Is that on NHL 20? Lindgren might push him out, to be honest. Is that Primo? I don't know if Lindgren will push Primo out. Or Kincaid. Well, we're going to have to see how Kincaid does. If he can have a bounce-back season and be more along the lines of how he was the year before last, I don't know if Lindgren... Lindgren's got a little bit to prove himself. He didn't have a great last 2 seasons, really. Although when he does play in the NHL, he tends to be pretty good, but it's not a guarantee, so I don't know. Anything on Puljujarvi lately? Nothing. I've heard 0 on Puljujarvi. Kincaid will be the best backup in years. I think. See Roy. Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with you, Jeff. And Jeff might have a little insight on the goalie. His daughter is being trained as a goalie by is it Joey McDonald, who's an ex-NHL goalie, and so he knows a little bit about goaltending. The best backup, we let it go. He was Devin Dubnyk. Yeah, oddly enough, isn't that kind of weird that we had him and then he goes on, we trade him over to Minnesota and he lights it up there. So, yeah. But, you know, he's more of a starter, so we probably would have had to get rid of him anyway. He wouldn't have been happy here as a backup with behind Price, I doubt. You know, I'm doing it again. This is old habits. I got my mouse. I'm trying to scroll. We're over an hour. I might cut it a little short today because of I'm a little tired. Weber, okay. Oh, Weber on point, and 4 others to be determined. I'm probably old-fashioned. I like to see 2 defensemen back there. So I don't know about the new way of doing it, and you know, I would prefer probably to see, and it's not because I'm probably saying this. I'm not going to say not saying it. I'm probably saying because I watched something recently, if not today or yesterday. It might have been the hockey guys. Somebody was breaking this down, and I agree with them. I'd like to see Kulak and Weber on first unit in the back. I'd like to see 2 defensemen back there. It was rare in my day. I don't really remember too often. I remember the first time I saw that, I realized I saw a forward playing the point on the power play. I thought how strange that is. So, yeah, I would probably have Kulak and Weber. I wouldn't have Drew on the back there. I would want him to be able to play the half wall and be somewhat of a quarterback there. It's what he's supposed to be able to do. He's got all the talent in the world to do it, and I'd like to see him there. I think he's better served there than on the point. That I do have that opinion. I'd like to see Galley in the center, you know, standing in front of the net, fighting in front of the net, and behind that, getting dirty. I like that. I would really kind of like to see Nick Suzuki on the other side. Drew Suzuki on the half walls. So it would be, I guess, the 1-2-2 formation. I think that's what they call it. And yeah, I kind of like to see that. So that's Unit 1. Unit 2, I've never done this before. Oh my God. Unit 2, I would have to think Petrie. I'm not going to put Sherratt. Petrie and Mete on the back end. Tatar. I'm just struggling. Who's the center on that line? Who's going to be my center? I kind of want to say Deneau, only because I really like Deneau's. I just like Deneau at center, and I think he really is a legitimate. Maybe ideally when he came in, he was a number 3, but he's a legitimate 1 or 2 center. So I guess if we haven't got KK down the center on the first line, I took him out, then I want him on the second power play unit. So it's going to be KK on my second center. So KK down the center, doing maybe even fighting in front of the net and all that. He's got some size. Tatar on one side. I'm struggling here. I want to get this out, so sorry. I'm not sure who on the other side. We don't have Andrew Shaw anymore. I guess Armia. I'd like to see what Armia can do. Oh, you know, I'd also, maybe if not Tatar on the left, I'd like to see Lehkonen. I'd like to see what Lehkonen can do a little bit on the power play too. So I think you have a lot of options. And I would imagine in camp they're going to give everybody a shot to see what they can do, to see if they can improve this power play. So sorry I struggled with getting the power play out. That's the first time I've ever really tried to do that. So I don't know. Armia has a best wrist shot on the team. Armia has a pretty decent wrist shot. I think Armia is going to score a few extra goals this year, not 13. I like to see him with 18 or more goals this year. I think he gets a shot at second line right wing. I think it might be a fight for second line right wing between Byron and Armia. McCarron in front of the net. Yeah, but McCarron can't skate. This is a problem. McCarron's a fourth liner. I don't think you play a fourth liner on the power play number 1. And yeah, I just don't like that. No. I don't like that. He can't skate well enough. If by chance he comes into and he skates like the wind and everything, that's different, but no. I know that's where they wanted him at the beginning, but he can't keep up. They'll have to be shooting the puck around, waiting for him to get to the front of the net. So I don't like it. Stop using your mouse. You can do this. Next captain for the Habs will be Brendan Gallagher. Brendan Gallagher. That's my... unless something changes and a different player stands out. Max Domi, if not Gallagher. Armia in front of that net. Maybe you're right about that, Jeremy. Armia would be good in front of the net. So maybe you'd have KK, after the face-off, KK shifts over to the side and Armia goes up front and battles around the net. Actually, quite good. I like that. What do I think of Alan McShane? I don't know a lot about him. I just know he scored the Rockets' first goal of the season. A guy that puts up good numbers. He's not big. This is his problem. He's 5'11", just like we have so many of them at that size that we do have to limit how many can make the team, that's for sure. But the guy looks like he can put up points, and he's a center. Other than that, I don't know a ton about him, but I'm sure I will learn a little more over the season. Which RFA do I want on the Habs? Don't want any right now. I know you want me to say Patrick Laine. I'm not going to say Patrick Laine because I don't really want Patrick Laine. I saw an interesting trade proposal on Twitter for Nick Leddy offering out, oh God, Rick, was Jared Brook, might have been Drouin, and a second or a third rounder. And I thought, well... oh, maybe it was Cale Fleury. Anyways, I don't know who it was. I don't think it was Drouin. But it wasn't enough, and I said, well, I think that Islanders would turn that down. And I was really in the minority. Most people thought the Habs would turn it down, and I thought, no, the Islanders would turn that down. And I don't know why I came out. Rick, do I think Romanov will play next year for the Habs? Yes. Yes. I think, I'm going to say this, I'm not, just going off of something that Bergevin said to a reporter that he'll be coming over next season before camp starts. He said that it was like, so either he meant at the end of the next season, not this one, the one after, or he'll be in camp next season, next training camp, and then if that's the case, I fully expect Romanov to play for the Habs next year. Habs should try and sign Kyle Connor. No, they should not. Way too much money. I mean, listen, guys. The guys who are calling for those kind of signings, if you haven't learned a lesson from what Toronto is going through now and going to go through in the next, probably as soon as this training camp, and other teams that are well over the cap and having to struggle, if you don't learn a lesson from that, I don't get it. Because what you're saying is you want the Habs to, be at the cap, and then when guys need to be signed, you don't have money, you got to get rid of this one, that one, this one, and the window, it closes real fast till it's shut. And I don't know why you'd want that. So, no, I don't want that. I think we got a pretty damn good team. It's a young team. It's going to get better. Do we have all the best prospects out there? No, but nobody's team does. So it's, You think Romanov, Jeff? You think Romanov will play in North America, but not for the Habs? Really? I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I said I'm reading. I think he will play in North America, but not Habs. So I imagine it's Romanov. Would be a smart play in the AHL. Oh, yeah, but Romanov is playing against men already. So if he has a bad camp, I would agree 100%. Start him in the AHL, but I kind of am expecting he'll be fine. But yeah, if he has a bad camp. We have 12 picks in 2020, which is supposed to be a very strong deep draft. Yeah, I think our prospect pool that we've already got and the picks that we have potential to pick up next season, things are looking good for the future. I don't think anything to complain about at all, guys. I really, really don't. Oh, no, okay. Do I think Fleury can be our next Petrie? He's got similar style, bit better defensively. I wish I knew a little more about Fleury. I'm going to refer back to Draft Dynasty. I saw his breakdown on Fleury's game, and I guess I think he has potential for it, but he needs to work on a few things. I really don't think Fleury's going to make the team this year, or at least to start off. I guess we'll see if he's worked on those aspects of his game. He needs to... he has trouble with the breakouts, breaking out of his defensive zone. He needs to work on that, be a little bit smarter, and keep his head up a little more for the passing that he's doing. Like he could make some wild passes and have trouble breaking out. So he's got a little bit of work to do, but who doesn't? That's what the AHL is for. That's what camp is for, and we'll see how his progress is in against NHL. Somewhat NHL competition in the preseason games. Have I seen Malkin's comments about the language problems for Russian players that he still has even today? No, I haven't seen that, Jeff. I really haven't. I just have seen that he would like to sign for 3 more years after his contract expires with Pittsburgh. He'd like to sign. If they match Kyle Connor, they won't be able to sign Laine, which I hope they don't do either. They won't match. There's a team that is thinking of signing him. Well, first of all, both those guys need to be offer sheeted. You can't just sign. So, if they match, I see what you're saying. Certainly looking like that. I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't. And this is, again, it's a point. So say we go out, we get Laine, and we got to sign him to $8.5 million, $9 million, $10 million contract. Where's that money coming from? And if we do have that money, then where's the money coming from to re-sign Domi, to re-sign, there's somebody else needs to, then 2 years down the road, there's 6 or 7 guys that need to, no, I say no. I think this is something I said earlier today. I'll say it again for you guys here. I'm 56 years old. If there's something I kind of learned in my lifetime is this. The grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. And in fact, it is rarely greener. And you're better off to stay on your side of the fence and take care of your grass. And the sexy option is rarely the better option. And that's what Laine and Connor are, or even Aho, really, to offer sheet them. They're the sexy option. It's the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. It's not, though. We've got some good guys here. We're developing a lot of good prospects. We got a lot of good things happening here. You go out and trade for Laine, you screw up your salary cap. You screw up your cap for down the road. You bring in a guy that's not, to me, isn't proven. You screw up the chemistry on the team, maybe. And no, for what? We've got a good team going, guys. We got a good team going. We got to stay the course, make these little improvements. Sherratt was a really good improvement. He's going to help in front of the net with protecting Price. That's going to make a big difference. A lot of these things, you put them all together, watch and see this team. It's going to surprise. It's going to surprise you, see. Okay, guys, listen, I'm getting really tired here. So I'm sorry that it's probably a little abrupt, but I'm going to have to call it quits. I'm having trouble concentrating now, and I kind of don't want to be in mid-answer and I forget what I'm talking about. Happens when I get tired. I'll forget completely what I'm talking about, and yeah, I don't like doing that. So I want to thank everybody for the 3 streams. A bunch of you were here for at least 2 of them, and a couple for all 3, and I want to thank you guys for that. I hope you enjoy the new way I'm streaming. I really like it. It's a little to get used to for the comments, but I'll get used to it over time. There's also a lot of things. I'll take the second to show you guys something that I can do that I couldn't do before. You guys see that? That's pretty cool. So I can write stuff. I can show little videos up in the corner there. I got to preload them. But if I want to show you guys something when we're on a stream, I can load up a little video. We can play it and then talk about it. There's all kinds of good stuff. There's some cheesy stuff that this does. But there's some really good stuff. And this allows me, oh, I gotta drop it this way. This allows me something that I couldn't do. So before I go, here, I'll drop it off. I can go and stream. If I'm somewhere else and I hear a breaking story, I can stream it out. I can do all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, so I'm tired too. You guys are tired. I'm the first one that was tired. I don't know, I say so tired too. So have a good night, guys. Thanks for coming in. My subscribers are the best. The best. I had an amazing, fantastic day with you guys. And, yeah, I just can't say enough. So thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Go Habs, go. Games, some serious hockey starts Monday. Monday, first game, New Jersey and Montreal, preseason. Not sure if I can watch it. Maybe I'll listen and stream. I don't know. We're going to do something. So there'll be more streams, more of this stuff. Anyways, have a good night, everybody. I'm talking too much. I'm rambling. I'm a little bit high from the excitement from you guys. Okay, have a good night, everybody. See you soon. Videos coming out every day, hopefully every day. If not, maybe a day here in between, here and there, but pretty much every day. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.